Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hairy Muppet, and yeah, welcome back to another Daily Masters cast. This is going to be me, Hairy Muppet, doing a Daily Masters cast, and thank you very much for watching. I know you've only been watching about 20 seconds of this so far, and I understand that time is a very important thing for you guys and girls. When I say you guys, I do mean you guys as a sort of general sort of environmental atmosphere sort of collection of people out there in the world, if you know what I mean. And if you don't know what I mean, then me saying that you know what I mean is sort of a synonymous symphony sort of thing. I can't remember the correct word and I can't Google it because I'm busy watching this game. Welcome to another Daily Masters. This is Hairy Muppet and we cast Starcraft here, and Starcraft is pretty freaking awesome. And yeah, you guys like watching it. So moving on, we do have a PvZ here. And if you're wondering why I sound like I'm on something small and pear-shaped and really, really fruity right now, that's sort of changing the chromosomes of my brain cells, I really don't know. It's probably a combination of things. Like, number one, when I finished casting the previous game, which was completely awesome, it was like a PvT, and I believe it had 2 good Starcraft players in it. I can't remember. You know what the previous game was. You know what it was. So anyway, I finished casting that and I had a really good feeling that the next game was going to be epic. And I mean, not just like the people playing it was going to be epic, but just me casting it was going to be epic. Like, I was going to do it and it was going to be epic and everything was just going to be beautiful. And this probe is starting to annoy me a little bit, but there we go, he's pissed off now. So there we go, and I just had a really, really good feeling about it. And also, in the break, I listened to the first half of a song that just been, I don't know if any of you guys know is a band called Grinspoon, and they got a song called Hard Act to Follow, and it's so good, and I would seriously be playing music all over my casts, but unfortunately there's this little thing called copyright infringement, so yeah, it's kind of this sort of deal where I play music and then I put ads on my video and then they get really, really pissed off and they want some of the money that I earn, which is like I don't know. I don't actually earn that much from the ads, to be honest, so I don't know why they would want any of that. But you know, I don't know, in like 5 years or so, when I'm earning millions from YouTube, then yeah, they'll probably want a bit of that if I put the music in. So I'm not going to do that, but it is a friggin' awesome song. It's got the guitar, it's got the bass, it's got the drums, it's got the singing. It may or may not have another guitar. It's got a lot of good stuff, and it really, really, really makes me feel good listening to that song. So anyway, I listened to that, and these links actually going pretty nuts over here, so they're doing a pretty good job. They are definitely making the Overlord proud in this game, and I guess that's all they really need to do. They're going to stay away from the Zealot, of course, because the Zealot will obviously kill them whenever the Zealot gets close enough to them. The Lings, obviously, they have this health bar thing, and the Zealot kind of hits them and it reduces their health. It's kind of this attack sort of, you attack somebody and they take damage sort of thing going on, and it's quite revolution actually if you think about it, because they did have an idea, I feel like, at some point where, you know, you couldn't take damage, like it's called invulnerability or something like that, where you hit somebody and like nothing happens, right? So it's, I know it sounds crazy, but anyway, they thought about doing that. I'm not talking about the Starcraft 2 guys, I'm just talking about in general. Somebody thought about doing that, like somebody punches you in a bar or something like that, and you're just like, hey, you punch me again, it doesn't make a difference. And look, in concept, in design, it was a great sort of thing going on. I mean, they didn't really have a design because they just had the requirements. They went through the requirements phase, and the requirement is you don't take damage. Somebody hits you and you don't take damage. Somebody stabs you and you don't take damage. And it just basically they tried to do something that just sort of covered everything. And yeah, it was a pretty good idea, but unfortunately they kind of got sidetracked in the design phase a little bit. It just there really was no design. There was no solid way of really accomplishing the whole invulnerability thing, because yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know, I guess laws of physics. I don't know, I don't want to go into like the physics of getting stabbed and stuff like that, but let's just say that you know, it's that force, it's the force goes in, force goes out sort of stuff, and you can't really apply a lot of force with your bare skin, if you know what I mean. It's yeah, there's no like skin of steel sort of stuff going on here. So those zealots are actually quite nasty, and my god, I haven't introduced the players yet. This is the worst cast I've ever done. This is HaNfy, and this is Socke. It's not Socke, it's Socke, because somebody else said Socke, so I'm going to trust them. Bunch of links coming out, bunch of cannons here, and Socke is actually quite a mean bastard right now. His cannons shooting this, and this is actually a pretty sweet plan. I've never seen anybody cannon rushing the third base. I suppose it's not really rushing, but yeah, this is going to go down, and the worker just managed to get away. That would have been, oh, that would have been so bad for that worker to die, but yeah, as we were saying in the previous video, Zerg have the best health insurance. No, wait, no, it's right. They don't even need healthcare. They don't even need healthcare. He's got his own inbuilt healthcare, and look at that. He's already healing, man. This is what they need, man. Screw invulnerability. We need a self-maintaining healthcare program for the entire world. I'm not going to say the entire country. The entire world needs self-fulfilling healthcare. Not anything really, really spectacular, like if you capture like a terrorist and shoot him in the head and he's just like la-di-da-di-da. Ain't nothing like that. If you shoot somebody in the head, they should die. But if you shoot them in the leg, they should be able to just sit back in front of the TV, you know, watch some Jerry Springer for a few hours. I don't know if they still have Jerry Springer on. I don't know. It's just like buy the Jerry Springer DVD box set or something like that if they have it. And yeah, definitely just a few hours later, your leg's all completely healed. And yeah, hopefully the bullet, it's like it auto shoves the bullet out of your leg, because that, if it was just stuck in there, then every time you move it'd be like ripping muscle and just be like injured again, which would, you know, it's not that ideal. Was this guy actually, are these guys actually pink as they're warping in? I feel like there's a little bit of, no, it's the blades. The blades are pink. They got pink blades, man. That is not, that is, I feel like this is sort of dress up to work day sort of thing that just went a little bit wrong sort of stuff. Like, I don't know, like when you come to work and you're wearing like purple sneakers or something like that, you think, oh, it's gonna work because I'm wearing a red shirt and it's all good, and then you get there and everybody's like, dude, what's with the sneakers? And you're like, oh, you know, red shirt, it's just like red day, everybody's wearing red, and I got these purple sneakers on, and they're like, dude, no, just no, that's not red, it's purple. I mean, and you're like, oh, you know, it's a red, it's red, it's red, you know, it's purple, it's red, and you know, red, it's fine. Look, it's fine, it's cool, dude. I mean, I like my purple sneakers. They're pretty awesome. Purple Sneakers, by the way, is an awesome song from back in the day by UMI, I think. UMI is actually a really awesome band. Definitely go check them out. I believe they're an Aussie band off the top of my head. Did a lot of good songs. But anyway, way to lose the point, Harry. In case you haven't noticed, I am Australian, and yeah, I love being Australian. So there we go, enough of that. Moving on, purple with, yeah, that's, I could have taken that somewhere. I think I did take that somewhere, but I could have taken it somewhere else. We only went like 2 stops down. We could have gone all the way to the end of the line if we really wanted to, but I don't know. Then again, you should go all the way to the end of the line. It's kind of, have you ever been down to the end of the line? You sort of, when you're in the middle of the line, there's always people going both directions. It's always a little bit better lit. I feel like there's a little bit more happening. You've got more exits. There's just more people. It generally feels like it's a bit better atmosphere. You go to the end of the line, and you know it's the end of the line. There's like sometimes there's a solid barrier at the end. It's like the train goes no further, and you look at it and you're like, I'm at the end of the line here, and it's sort of like it's like a metamorphosis, or it's a metaphor for how your life is going. You get into the end of your life, and it's like, what am I doing here? How did I get here? This is not right. Have I done something wrong here? Something is not right here. And yeah, so end of the line. Not all it's cracked up to be, and yeah, end of the line, I feel like it's another metaphor for like actually getting owned, like getting killed and stuff like that, which is it's not a good thing. It's generally a bad thing, I feel like. I mean, yeah, I don't know. There's always different opinions and stuff like that, but I feel like on the whole, we could probably say that dying is probably a bad thing for the majority of people. Yeah, for the vast majority of people who say that dying is a bad thing. Definitely for these cannons, I'm sure if they were actually, I don't know if cannons are sentient, but if they're automated, they're got to be automated. I mean, if they're automated, it doesn't necessarily mean they're sentient though. And I'm sure sentient beings, if like a sentient robot or something, would care about death, but I don't know, is this an automated guy? Is this Colossus? Are all these guys automated? I know the Stalkers are like dead spirits and stuff stuck in them, so that's definitely sentient. We can definitely say that that's sentient. That's fine. Bunch of roaches coming in. Locked off here. Beautiful move. Absolutely beautiful. I don't know if there was a Stalker back there or if the reinforcing army just cut him off, but really, really nice. And the amount of immortals that Socke is starting to get out is going to be able to start countering the roaches quite nicely, but Ling's getting in there. Unfortunately, they're running up against the Zealots most of the time, so it's just roaches left over. The Lings did not get at the immortals, and we do have mutas as well, but there's such a heavy Stalker population on the map, and I feel like Socke right now is in a very good position as far as getting shit done. I mean, he seems to have a counter for all of the stuff that HaNfy is really trying to get out on the map. The mutas are trying to do something here, and it looks like Socke is going to be ignoring these for the most part, just relying on reinforcements. Meanwhile, he's got a bunch of Lings coming in here, but this is sort of well protected. And these Lings are, yeah, not in a good position there at all. They need to do something here, but I feel like he's a little bit more worried about the defenses here. And if we go to a base race, then Socke can potentially just knock this over because he's got a ton of immortals there, and these roaches are getting bottlenecked all over the place. So not good at all. And I feel like reinforcements could eventually wipe these guys out, but the chances of reinforcements wiping these guys out, not that good, especially not with the immortals wiping stuff out all over the place. And yeah, he's going to warp half these guys back here. A lot of Stalkers. And I wonder if he warps these guys back in and then he kills the mothership core before they finish warping in, would they just be lost in oblivion, or would they get teleported back to here? I feel like they'd get teleported back to there, and that would be awesome. I'd love to see that happen. I think I have seen that happen in one game. Maybe, I don't know. I think I've definitely seen somebody take out a mothership core to prevent them from warping in the future, but I don't think I've ever seen somebody take out a mothership core while the warp is in effect. But anyway, moving those Stalkers back, and yeah, he's trying to fend these guys off, doing a pretty good job. He's taken the rest of his forces who are attacking over there, taking them back, and both bases looking like they're a little bit messed up at the moment. Couple of Zealots back here. These spine crawlers look like they held off the main base quite nicely. Everything else is pretty much dead. And the Zerg forces, I mean, the Zerg kind of has the mobility here, but I don't know. I do not know, because both players are pretty much got no mining at all. We've got a bit more of the Protoss, but that's simply because he's got more mineral things going on there. The Roach is coming over there. He's finally going to take this cannon out. I feel like that cannon killed about 30 billion Lings, so there we go. The Stalker's coming over there. They're going to have to blink up there. There we go. And trying to kill the workers here as well, but the mutas, they're going to have to run. They finally take that cannon. No, they just got the cannon, but I don't know if that was worth it. I think he lost like 2 mutas trying to take that cannon out at the last second. But yeah, we've got another base coming down for HaNfy, so great job keeping the play on the Protoss side of the map while he gets this base up. But I mean, if Socke decides to go for this base, decides to knock it down, then I don't think that HaNfy can really do too much to kind of keep it alive, because he's got a decent amount of roaches, but with 3 immortals on the field, yeah, roaches are going to do squat all. And keeping on sending in the mutas to try and take this out, yeah, I mean, obviously they're still trying to go for a base race, but no, it's just a little bit too risky, just a little bit. And Socke actually might be in a little bit of trouble. He's got 14 harvesters, all on the minerals. He should get all of them on the minerals. One's on the gas. That's probably doesn't need that guy to be on the gas. I got this thing where sometimes the cursor doesn't actually scroll right when it's supposed to. It's like that stupid mode where your mouse, you can just freely move it outside, and sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't work. But anyway, moving on. The Stalker's coming in, and HaNfy is in a lot of trouble here. He really, really is. His creep is getting knocked back, but I feel like these roaches are not going to be able to stand up against this force. He's got a bunch of spine crawlers. You've got to try and make it work, but with 3 immortals in this army, the immortals are just going to knock everything down. And as long as Socke keeps the immortals alive, mostly, then he's going to be fine. And he can just push in there, knock these guys out, and get some stuff done. And he's getting the base down. He's put in a ton of minerals to get this out. And he's got the stalkers to try and defend him, so that's going to be fine. I feel like those stalkers can hold off this small group of mutas. As Socke being a little bit cautious here. He's going down to the 3rd. He does have a hallucinated phoenix in there. He's going to see exactly what's happening. And there are hydras coming out. So I would have said 2-3 minutes ago he would have had a definite chance to knock these guys out. Now, not so sure. Not so sure with Hydralisk out on the map. I'm not sure if he can just overrun this base that HaNfy has. But he might still try. He might still try and just get in there, get in the backside, and get in and do some damage. He could actually try and hold these guys off while he goes for the main. I don't know if he can support enough force fields to make that happen. But he's going to have a crack here. The Immortals definitely doing some good stuff. Roach is starting to go down, but the Mutas have showed up to join the party. Enough Stalkers still to sort of hold off, but the Stalker numbers are going down quite a bit, and he chooses to warp out of there. So there we go. Actually, the Mothership Core is still warped out there, so I guess you cannot... I don't know if the Mothership Core, you can attack it while it's in that half-phased mode. Very interesting. I'd be very interested to find out if that's possible or not, but... yeah, regardless, moving on. HaNfy crawling his way back into this game, and he's been doing a pretty good job so far. Kind of the fact that Socke didn't push in really fast when it was just roaches down here and mutas sort of all over the place. He had a period of about 2 minutes where I feel like he could have gone in and just really hit hard, and with just roaches and a bit of spine crawlers, I feel like the Immortals could have got the job done. But he chose not to, and now there are Hydras out on the field, so he's a bit of trouble. A little bit of trouble. He's going to try and go for Storm to try and make that work, but going for Storm, going for High Templars, you kind of need a very stable, a very decent macro to make that work, and neither player really has a decent macro right here. And meanwhile, HaNfy is doing a great job, I gotta say. He's going for Roach Hydra, and this is something that he can support with a mediocre macro. He can get out Hydras, he can get out Roaches. They're relatively cheap compared to units like High Templars, which are very gas expensive. And he's got to be getting close to running out the gas. Not actually, he's still got quite a lot of gas in there, so he still can go for quite a while. But seeing the 3rd base out there, this is definitely something that Socke will want to deal with. So... sorry, a little bit yawny there. Yeah, so moving on, getting some stuff done, and well, do we actually? This is just a hallucinated Phoenix attacking an Overlord, and yeah, HaNfy has no problems with that Phoenix right now. He knows that Socke knows exactly what he is on about, so yeah, he's fine to let that Phoenix just go wherever. Meanwhile, Muta's coming down. Is that the only Muta that's left? It's the only Muta that's left. He needs a real Phoenix to actually wipe this guy out, but does not quite have it at the moment. Bunch of roaches over there. Well, not a bunch, but you know, a couple of roaches, so that's fine. Swarm host coming out. And this is going to be an interesting sort of play because... yeah, I don't know. I do not know if it's going to work. Immortals definitely going to be able to own the actual Swarm host if they're getting close enough. Blink Stalkers also, I'd say, a fairly viable option for dealing with Swarm hosts. And of course the Storm, designed for the Hydras, is going to be excellent on the Swarm hosts themselves. So that is going to be it. He's going to concentrate on storming the Hydras though. And Force Fields on the Locust, going to be an excellent idea just to keep them out of the battle. It's going to be great. And he's actually doing a pretty good job here, taking out more than his share of Zerg units. But the Locusts are still coming out, and he's not concentrating on killing the Swarm hosts themselves. So after a while, after a minute or so, even less than that, these Swarm hosts are really going to start to pay for themselves. And he's concentrating so much on the Hydras, but he really needs to just concentrate on the Swarm Host for now. Really start taking these guys out nice and fast. You can see he's really started to focus on them now. And this is good, but the reinforcements are going to wipe out a lot of his forces. And he's going to get chased away. So it was a nice attack, but a little bit of priority problems right there. He didn't start prioritizing the Swarm Host until it was too late. And at that point, the reinforcements just started wiping him out. So there we go. It's still fine, still good, and he didn't obviously lose a ton. But I feel like we're back to the 8-minute mark in terms of how much stuff these players have got. So definitely a nice reset. And what will these players do? Looks like HaNfy is dedicated to his Roach Hydra. I do not know if he'll continue to push out with a lot of Swarm Hosts. He has one Swarm Host at the moment, which he's gonna have on defensive. Oh man, that was an awesome flank. That is one of the best flanks I have ever seen. Completely out of nowhere, 4 High Templar going down, and that can potentially be a game decider because that much gas. Oh, it's huge. It is huge. And these guys, I don't know, they can't storm. They're actually a bit away from storm. That's 75. And after losing those 4 High Templar, Socke's just like, damn. He's just like, damn. Absolutely awful. I think it might be raining outside, but maybe just be traffic. I'm next to some road. It's not a main road, but it's between like 2 highways, so a lot of people still drive down it, but yeah, sometimes you hear the traffic. But anyway, you guys can't hear the traffic, so you probably don't care. And yeah, moving on. This game was awesome. HaNfy definitely did a really, really awesome job there. Socke, you're basically both players right on top of their game for the entire game. And I feel like it was just that beautiful flank right at the end. It's just HaNfy just came in, just sniped those 4 High Templars. There was no way they were going to survive that. And that was just the last straw for Socke. He's just like, you know what, GG, I'm out of here. And congratulations to HaNfy for taking the victory there. So this has been Daily Masters for today. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah, let me know as well what sort of games you like, because Daily Masters, I mean, it's every day. So there's one a day. So I don't know if everybody wants a half-hour game every day, because that's pretty big. I don't think everybody wants a 10-minute game every day, because 10-minute games, yeah, so I'm trying to fit around the 15, 20, maybe 25 minutes. If I see a good long game, I'll cast it for Daily Masters, but I'll do a couple of short ones as well, so kind of all over the place. So, yeah, we will see how it goes, though. And, yeah, definitely, man, if you want 10-minute games every day, then I'll do a bit more of those. If you want half-hour games every day, then I'll do a bit more of those. But I don't know. Yeah, those games actually take a lot to upload, and my upload speed is not very good, so I don't know if I'd be able to do half-hour games every day. But anyway, moving on. Daily Masters for today. Thank you very much for watching. This has been HaRyMuppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.